and wash the jug and make us some more.
Daddy, you remember, how old was you when they built that house? Was you born? That house we live in?
I can't remember when they built that.
Was you already born? Was you already born?
Yeah, I think it was.
It's built in 48, wasn't it?
Yeah, I was born up on Trent. And, rained a whole lot. Daddy couldn't get home until he had a boy, you know. And then,
When
10
do you-
years later, Teresa come along.
When do you remember moving into that house? What's your first memories of that house that you remember?
My boys came home from the army. I was gonna build her a new house and give them that house.
Obviously, they had a house up there. Beside that, Joe lived in. They had a house that faced the old Aberdeen Road, and that well up there was on the back porch. I can't remember that though. And, they had a hay barn down there, behind below my house. And a deer house. You know what a deer house is?
What?
Where you put the harness.
Oh, yeah.
Horses. Daddy, he had a pair of horses named Rock and Bob. And he didn't go to the army. And our public didn't go. But our boys on Howard went. And they divided the places and all up after they got out, you know. And our boys got that little place down there, and then of course Daddy ended up buying that from him. And Garfield lived down there.
What was that lower place? That's what we got from down here? Marty and them,
Yeah.
and pine trees down there? Where Hayfield used to be.
Well, that used to be a beach down there. Garfield was up here. And Diane had a dog, collie dog named Snoopy. And she went with me everywhere I went. And I got down there, I guess I was about 6, 7 years old. And Garfield taking, put steeples in barbed wire. And I'd get his hammer and throw it in the ditch. Garfield got down to this guy and he said, "Don't you do that no more." And so I done it again. When I did, boys got my arm like that, you know, and just tore my tail up. And I went to the house that night, and Eddie got to come in. I said, "Don't you get there and far Garfield. He give me a whooping." And Daddy said, "I guess you need to." I said, "No, I didn't need it." He said, "What did you do?" He said, I told him, I said, "Well, I might have thrown his hammer in the ditch."
Just might.
And so he said, "See there, I knew Garfield give you a whooping you needed it." And Garfield is old, I ain't going no young grandpa. Dan was his daddy. And Bart Rock helped Daddy haul logs from Jack Gilmore's. And Kemp was logging them, hauling logs in where they could get them. And they stopped down there at that Greenwood Springs place. And Bart Rock went in there and got him cocoa and a pecan pie. And Daddy looked over at him, and he didn't take that tin foil off of it, you know. He says, "Rock," says, "is that pie pretty good?" He says, "It's got the toughest custard I've ever tasted."
cardboard.
Was it?
Yeah, them cardboard cups.
I thought we could add that other in there.
He could tell the difference between tin foil.
Yeah,
But that cardboard don't look like a house.
but,
He done thought it was, he eating cardboard, thought it was pie crust.
old Kemp was our best hand, I guess, Daddy had. And he bought a pair of horses. They Strawberry Arms, named Rob and Bob. And Eddie said they wouldn't pull them back. Said you go, their trucks get stuck, said you hook to them until they just jump in the harness out, jump in the harness out. And so he's standing up there on top of the hill, fixing to run in, and seen that truck getting Kemp to pull him out. He just wanted to see how Kemp done that. Cause he said he done made up his mind, he could sell them horses, but he wouldn't no Kemp. And, then he said that he just stood up there and watched it. And he said, Kemp unhooked him. So he went up there and tied him to a tree just as tight as he could tie him. He said he cut him a sapling out there somewhere and said he went to whooping them horses. And he put a whooping on him. And then he said he didn't care if he burned him. He said he was already burned, you know, he just did it watching it. Said Kemp went back down there and hooked him back up. Said he took that limb and popped to him, you know. Said them suckers fell in the harness and always did, pulling stuff out.
I guess I'd fall in the harness and go to pulling too if somebody beat me senseless like that.
Yeah. And down yonder, Ferris Hawkins went on to live down yonder. He had corn planted. See, they have no corn shell on the back of the truck. And they would shell that corn. And then they take it up there at Joel's house now and back it up there on that bank and scoop it off into a trailer. And take them long and scoop it off into a trailer. And then have our phones in Detroit. Did he go over that Virgin Base, had a phone booth over there, and he called over and called.
She's the operator, wasn't she? Virgin May?
Yeah.
Yeah. And anyhow, he go covering with that little corn, shell corn. And then he come back, the next load shell corn, he'd take it to down around Hattiesburg, somebody down there. Then he'd go to Dothan. And then they fooled around, they got doing pretty good. And they bought a little truck sitting down there behind the,
That old white truck.
yeah, bought that one. And so they can bought another. And Fergie was about to lose his farm. And of course, didn't learn me how to cultivate. Fergie had cotton. And Fergie told me if I could cultivate that cotton, he could have to have black, you know, so you get more out of it in a day's time. And I got $5 a day, working all day. And
Would you do it again all day for $5?
what time's better, man?
You have to have a little bit more money, huh?
And but we didn't get no television for a long time.
Tell about when Teresa was born, how you got hurt.
Yeah. 10 years difference in me and Teresa. And they brought Teresa home. And I said, my goodness, what'd you bring her home for? I said, you don't have no boys down there.
The horse stepped on your foot.
Huh?
The horse stepped on your foot.
Yeah. And, stepped on my foot.
When the champ stepped on your foot, oh, you played like you did, you couldn't go to school.
You played hooky like you.
Yeah, I played hooky then.
What'd you do?
He thought they all they done was love on Thursday in the daytime, he couldn't go to school.
Yeah. And,
You had to have some attention.
yeah,
He stayed at home, and he's only, she slept most times, so he got well.
it was, I went to school up down there, you know, where you go down the school.
Mm-hmm.
Used to be a big schoolhouse there. I went through the 6th grade there. And then I had to go to the 7th grade up there,
Track.
yeah, where the track was at. And, man, me and old Graffa Lucas got old hookings up there. It was about a year or so. His daddy come down there with a rifle. He gonna kill that principal.
Whose daddy did that?
Huh? Grafton. Grafton swore it down. He turned the board across the way he could hit him.
And his daddy was gonna come shoot him and kill him.
Yeah, he gonna kill him.
What'd you do?
Hey, he had blue places all across his hips back there. And, hey, he whooped me pretty hard.
Who were some of your teachers?
Miss Ham was a first grade teacher. Boy, she got her attention right quick. We had a cloak room. You had to go in. You go right there and hang your coat on there, you know. If you had some books you didn't need to take home, you leave them in there.
Kind of like locker.
Yeah.
Closet.
And I never did figure out what Rosenell Taylor done, but it was something bad. Miss Ham went to whooping her. She went back there to her desk, got her by her desk, went to whooping her, whooped her all the way in this end the coat room, down it, and back out and all the way back to her seat.
She messed up bad, didn't she?
You know, yes, he had something bad. I don't know what it was.
Did you didn't do nothing to get you one?
No. And Michael Norrington, that's Harry's brother. Miss Dorothy bring him up there. And she'd have to make him get out of the car. And then she'd have to lock the doors, but he'd just be hanging on the door. The door handle out there. And Kenneth Grant, he was bad. He went out to get the him told. He seen this Velma. She went over to Damon. Her brother.
Mm-hmm.
I'd like to be named Damon.
Wouldn't like it. I wouldn't like to be named Velma. That's an old
Anyhow,
school name.
Kenneth said to Miss Ham, he had to go out there and get a drink of water. He went out there and got him a little drink around the schoolhouse. He went. And he seen his mama go across the bottom. And Mr. Ham was the principal. And Mr. Ham got in his car, took off after. Hey, old Kenneth had done made it to the last bridge over there when he caught her. And old Elvis Sproul, he had a 51 Ford. That was a driving road coming across there. And Elvis would leave out. Going toward Detroit,
Mm-hmm.
or he'd be swallowing tars. He'd slap it up second, he'd get rubber again. Little 51 Ford. And, that's about all I know.
What about up there in the lunchroom with you and Grafton? Was it you and Grafton got in that scuffle up there in the lunchroom?
Yeah, we got a fine up there.
What happened over that?
We got a whooping. And,
You went to soldier.
huh?
Then you went to soldier.
Yeah, I got a bunch of whoopings at soldiers. They had a whooping room over there.
And it had your name on it?
You tell us all about it, couldn't you?
Yeah. See, they had the office over here when you went in, and the whooping room was on the other side of the hall. You come in there.
Is that where your desk was?
Huh?
Is that where your desk was in school? In that
No.
whooping room?
No, I had,
You and JR stayed in the tow, didn't you?
yeah.
How about Mr. Brown trying to teach you algebra?
Well, I really didn't mean to do that.
Yeah.
But it had upstairs, well, nothing upstairs, but the old people, they go up there and say a hour or two every day, then they go to their job. Had a knot hole in there in the floor. And, me and James Lake put a,
Cherry bottom.
cherry bomb on it and dropped it down through that hole and dropped it right in my water line. And we got all the way down there, got in the room, and by that time, boy, it was like a dynamite. Busted that water line. And Lake Nolan, they couldn't find him, knows where, and he's almost one that was,
Janitor.
No, it was probably.
police know where to cut the water off. And,
Son, y'all flooded the school, man.
yeah. And, but,
How'd y'all get away with that? What James, you didn't get away, did you?
no, we both got a whooping from it.
I thought James Rake's going out the window.
Oh, yeah, we gonna go out there to the ag building, and then we run, had the keys to the ag store. We just gonna go out there and get some. We had football practice right after school, you know. And James Ray got one foot out of the window. No, James Ray jumped out of the window. And of course, it didn't run that high off the ground, you know. And, I got 1 foot out, 1 foot in, and here he comes. You ought to see how mad, man, he can get the maddest that anybody I ever seen.
Did he tear you up?
Huh?
He tear
He'd
you
go
up?
to foaming at the mouth, wouldn't he?
Huh?
He'd go to foaming at the mouth.
Oh, yeah. And when he really got foaming at the mouth, when he got it, we started pushing his desk out of the way, then he started running down the rafters, throwing him in the backside. I didn't mean to do that, I didn't know that water.
He meant to drop the cherry bomb. He didn't mean to blow the water line.
And then,
Tell about you riding your horse, riding Champ.
You couldn't control that sucker, could you?
no, he didn't know nothing about it. He just
Running a straight
run
bit in
over
the
Rob
mouth.
Bob, he just put straight bits in the mouth, you know, and he put one in Champ's mouth. He run away with it every time I go.
Oh,
Me
he
and
was
Tiny
tiny. So
been down there to John C. John C. had a little horse, he rode it some, but he wouldn't come up here on it, he's scared of it. Bison had one, he was scared of it. And, our goddamn lived out there across the road.
right across Mount Running.
Yeah, behind on his mailbox there. And the house was facing that hay barn down there. And, me and Tiny, we just sat up there and ride, you know. And, we heard Luther hollering to them kids, says, get in the house quick. See, their house is out there on that dirt road. Said, John comes Larry on that crazy horse. And so I couldn't stop him. And,
He'd run all the way back up through until he got to the gate with
yeah, boy, you better be holding on. That fence is fixed just like that his out there. When he made that turn,
He took a turn, didn't he?
boy, he took a turn. That little straight bit wasn't doing nothing. And, so, we rode that thing.
What'd she say?
Hmm?
Oh, Oliver's on there with you.
The Tiny's holding on, big. Tiny, it was big now. But
It's
back
only
then-
got 400 pounds, they said.
Yeah, but back then, he wasn't big, no bigger than I was, I don't get, he wasn't as big as I was. And, but let me tell you about Mama.
Milking that cow.
Yeah. She got in there and do it this way. My papa could strip a cow. She'd like get a tit in his hand, tit, and they'd be one of them took the milk out there all the time, you know.
What mama do it?
She got down there, she tried to do it like that. When she did, I'd take them cow's tail, slap her in the back. She said, what'd I do? I said, you pinched her. Oh, man.
What's your first memories living in that house up there?
Well, y'all live in?
Yeah.
Well, see, we didn't have no television for a long time. And moonlight nights, we played tag. And,
Did you ever get scared in there one time?
huh?
Did you get scared in there one time? Heard a booger?
Yeah.
Tell me about that.
Well, Diddy Clarice didn't know about to do it. But back there at y'all's, you got your washing machine all back there hanging. Well, Mama, she left and went up to, she left her daddy's supper to him out there. Cause they just liable to be hungry. Selling
me.
corn to late, you know. Daddy coon hunted with a pistol. Kept it in there on top shelf. Well, I was barefooted. I went barefooted about all the time back in, especially in the summertime. And I decided I'd get Daddy's pistol back. And when I turned
You was
around,
home
that
alone.
back, huh?
He was home alone.
Yeah. And that back door come open. So I put the pistol down and I went out the front door. Boy, I was running wide open going down there. Man, it was so dark, I just had to guess where I was going to turn off at. It wasn't no stars, no nothing. It's you can hold your hand out like that and couldn't see it.
You fell in that ditch between Larry's and...
Yeah, I turned off too quick. When I hit bottom, buddy, I was right up the other side.
It didn't slow you down too much, did it?
Yeah,
What about that time you was up in yonder and they left that tractor up yonder behind Wesley and them's house? You had to go up there and get it one night, didn't you?
The Meadow play or
no, I said, in fact, she had Diane, me and Diane Thaxton was down there. And we played in that hay in there, you know.
that's the Maxie place up here and
Uh,
behind Wesley's house. Wasn't that called the Maxie place?
Yeah, but, or Jeff worked there.
Someone left a tractor up there one time. You was gonna go up there and get it at night or something. And you had to walk home or you was up there working on it.
They hung a man up there or something, didn't they? Behind Wesley's
Y'all may
house.
have been up in there listening for something. Y'all heard something.
I don't know, now,
I know there's some
Diane
graves.
played with me all the time.
Yeah,
Really?
did y'all go up there at that graveyard one night?
I don't know. I don't remember going to no graveyard.
It's up there on that gas line, you know.
Yeah. I come through there. But I come through there missing chapel. And didn't think about that one until I got over here. And I walked out there, a little piece of plastic, boy, I pulled it out again. I was running that 55, Daddy got a Ford tractor for me to learn how to cultivate. And he had gas up there instead of diesel behind the barn out there. He had his tank laying in that bank area. And he'd give me $5 on Friday night. And I got a tank full of gas. Or, and then I run out that night over yonder. It, the side of Uncle Forrest is up there, you know, they call that the Divide Ridge. And I walked down that road, man, it was some of the meanest dogs you ever seen. They'd have all of them down there around Larry Lance from them barking, waiting on me to get there, you know. And I walked on down there and I got a thing about West's Chapel. And I decided I wasn't gonna go through there. And I come on over there to, let's see, Doc Nevy. Where did Doc Nevy's living over there? Wonder what?
Down that dirt road.
Huh? Down that dirt road, going back towards that colored church up there. And so I cut through there, and I made it pretty good coming through there. I made it better coming through there than I would going through the West's Chapel and all that did. But you ever heard that about them two outlaws?
What two of them?
They robbed a bank.
Oh, you talking about old Rude Burrow?
Yeah.
Rude Burrow.
I don't know who it was, but they couldn't count money, and they said, you take that. and
Oh,
that,
yeah, I
take
heard
this."
this. Tell that though, Lee probably ain't heard that.
And said, it's two at the gate. Said, you get one, I get the other. One pulled out. But it wasn't, hey, we didn't have television to watch. Old Kelly Fry lived over yonder. Brother Harry up there on the right. He cut hair up at house. And he let us come over at his house every Sunday evening. But I'll tell you, it was 4 o'clock when Roy Rogers come on. We'd go over and watch Roy Rogers. And then about 6 months after that, then got one. And then we had an old coal oil Peter, and Mama had a little flat top stove, you know, and that had a chimney. It turned back in up there, went out. Then had a pump on the well down there. We'd have to pump water in that, you know, then come in and Mama put it on the stove, warm it up.
What about that time you and Uncle Ronnie and them was down there in the bottom? You was hunting that, I thought y'all heard that woman screaming down there. Tell Lee about that. He won't ever go back down there in the woods.
Pat,
It wasn't him and Ronnie, it was him and Scott Kelly.
Tell me and Scott Kelly.
I thought it was you and Uncle Ronnie.
No, me and Scott Kelly. Me and Scott come out of that bottom one night. They had it forward, where they went in there to the gas well, you know. And we started calling our dogs. And we backed up to a tree there. We looked and the cottonmouths were swimming towards us. From water about that deep. Had the mouth open, you know. We took them dog places and started hitting them over the head with it. And we hit them so many times till they finally turned around and went back the other way. And
Y'all got up
hey,
there?
we had some pretty good times. Jackie was with us, riding 4-wheelers, and I had an old Yamaha. It wasn't no 4-wheel drive. It was 2-wheel drive. Every time I could go to the bank, I don't, I bring it up. My mom would be on bottom, I'd be on top.
Did you land on it?
Huh, yeah. But we finally went up there and bought us four-wheel drive.
Mama, what did you do when you come home? And he had to tell you all this stuff.
What happened that night with that Panther though?
Huh?
What happened that night with that Panther?
You and Scott was hunting down there at the beaver pond at Mr. Allen's. Y'all just turned the dogs loose and something hollered out, didn't it?
Yeah. And, I never really know what that was. It made a terrible racket and Scott couldn't stay there.
The dogs come running back to the truck, didn't they?
Yeah, they did.
Boogered them up so
See,
bad they come back.
Millie Ray place down there, we hunted on in there below it, that's where Ronnie got that cement wheel up yonder.
Mm-hmm.
That's Mill Creek down in there.
That's Mill Creek.
Millstone,
Huh?
that was a millstone.
Yeah. Well, old Jolly Faulkner told me at one time, his grandpa told him that they run a gin off of, down there, off of Mill Creek.
Use that water to turn that wheel.
Mm-hmm.
Ground the corn.
What about hunting with, went y'all hunting one night? And Junior Whale put on an old mask. One of them was asleep, and Junior got up, and snuck up on them. They was asleep in the truck and scared them with that old mask on.
I know Scotty's scared.
Was it?
Boy,
Tell
Scott
us
got
about-
the bad end of the stick.
Tell us about that.
There, didn't he?
Tell us about that. Where y'all's at and what you do.
We got there hunting in them hills. That road goes through there where Cletus Steifer lives. That was a dirt road then. And then it was a little road there turned off up there above Joe's wash and gravel place. Went back through there and it come out over there. Where was it? Whose store was that up there one on the side?
Rye Grocery,
Huh?
Rye's Grocery,
Yeah,
Yeah, right there off the hill. When
Yeah.
you go past Russell
the lot
Hills.
building.
yeah. And, we hunted over in there a good bit.
What'd that fella do to Scott?
Huh?
What'd he do to Scott?
Who's that?
That fella with that mask.
He just scared Scott with it.
It seems like Scott got the bad end of the stick hunting with y'all.
Yeah.
Wasn't Scott with y'all that night? That police officer about took all four of y'all to jail.
The game wore no buck right.
No, Scott wasn't with me.
Didn't you have to talk?
Try again.
Didn't you have to talk him into not taking Mama on to jail with you?
Yeah, the only reason he didn't take my mom in jail is, he's gonna take him. And, I told him I had some money at the house. Asked him how much it's gonna be. And he told me, they'd pay a fine just like on them, just like it did me. And Brad told him, says, I'm gonna tell you something. Says, I'm staying in here getting my dog. Mississippi State, or State of Mississippi don't want to pay me what I want for this dog. He done won a world hunt, you know, with it. And, I'm gonna tell you something, old Buck Wright. And, he thought he was sure enough bad.
He hid behind the tree to get you, didn't he?
Yeah. And just stepped out behind the tree one day and hit him with that rifle. And, we just talking up a storm going down through there. And see, one of them had on shoes like they got on there now.
But here's my question, did you have Mississippi license?
No, I ain't got no Mississippi. See, I was down in, where'd I
They
go?
telling them all the time, somebody stopped out yonder, they gonna get us.
Oh, somebody was stop, you seen someone stop
I
out there?
heard the video.
Hey, where the hell never been came?
She thinks she heard a vehicle, didn't
I
she?
never did go again either, did I?
On TV, me and Scott went down there one night, turned loose. And, dogs went in there and treed. And boy, every once in a while, somebody was shooting shotguns out there, go boom! And and Scott said, we gotta get there and get them dogs and get out of here. I said, the game, somebody gonna be calling game warden up here. Scott didn't have his Mississippi license, and I didn't either. I didn't go get mine before down there happening. And, what it was, I went down there to Johnny's the next day. I said, Johnny, I said, somebody's killing deer out here at night in y'all's corn, cotton, somewhere out there. He said, no, it ain't. He said, that's the thing going off out there. It makes it sound like a gun to keep the deer run off of it, you know.
You just knew you was about to come out there with a hole in it, did you? Did Buck Wright come up there wanting to buy gas from us before we sold out?
Yeah, I told them not to sell it now.
They did it anyways, didn't they? Made you buy it.
I went back by there, set one up there, and he'd been in the pen. And the thing about him, the guy's supposed to be a law officer.
And he done been in jail.
Yeah. And
Speaks highly of him, don't it?
yeah. And I come up over Aberdeen Road, coming back from Holcomb one day, and I saw a house there. Good looking old house. Had horse trailers out there and horses and a nice barn. You ever saw it, Hagen?
Mm-hmm.
Nice looking place, ain't it? And I got out and went to the door. He had a Columbus butane tank. And I went to the door and he come out there with and said, and he said, Larry said, I've been passing some of your cards out down here. Said I'm glad to start in grocery stores and leave cards, you know, where they call me. And he said, I'll give a bunch of people these cards and all. I said, well, good. And he says, I want you to bring me a tank down here now. And I said, all right. I said, when that gets down on about 5%, 10%, I said, you just call us, we'll run down here, run down here. I went on out there and I got to pick up. And I left. And I got coming up 8, it dawned on me who that was. I turned around and looked back down there. I was going to go right quick. I wasn't sitting in no tank. He done put me in jail.
You called the office, told them not to set it.
Yeah, come up there and called him, told him not to set him one. And it wasn't 2 or 3 weeks later, I go down through there and set some Mid-South tank sitting right there.
You wanted to go out there and take it off, didn't you?
What did he tell you when you turned around and went back and told him you wasn't gonna set him no tape? What he
He done left. He done went somewhere.
you didn't get to talk to
I didn't
him?
get to talk to him then. That's when I called the office and I told him, I said, he's gonna be calling, but do not set him a tank. Then I go through there another week or two, here's a mid-sized propane tank sitting up.
Burnt you up, didn't it?
Yeah, he had a nice looking place. They had horses, horse trailers. Did you sell the gas?
Mm-mm. I think he's dead.
Huh?
I think he's done died.
Who is it?
Buck Wright.
Somebody probably shot him. I could have real easy.
You didn't like him, did you?
No, I didn't like him. See,
Yeah.
what's the matter about him? Oh, Larry. Let's see. Larry Happy drove a truck over it. Over it.
Rainbow City.
Huh? Yeah, no. What was that out over where Johnny Russell worked at?
Holcomb.
Holcomb. Yeah.
Larry
Well,
Ivy didn't down the truck over there.
no, Larry Ivy didn't. But, anyhow,
He worked for Mid-South.
yeah,
Who you thinking of worked for Mid-South?
yeah.
Larry Ivy didn't work.
Larry Ivy didn't, he's working over at Sneed.
He worked for,
Who worked out of the Hook office?
Huh?
Did he? Who worked out of the Hook office?
Johnny and Thomas.
But anyhow, they got to talking about Buck over there was sweeping the streets. And I let it go 2 or 3 days. They kept telling me what a good job he was doing, you know. And I said, just what is this Buck's last name? and they told me, you know. And I told him, I said, I need to go over there and whoop him. I said, that sucker put me in jail.
You didn't forget that,
You
eh?
know,
what he go to prison for?
he killed somebody. Who was it he killed? Game warden, right?
Some boy, wasn't it?
Lord have mercy.
Yeah.
He's outlaw.
Do you like to still put a whooping on him?
Huh? I got 2 old, right? Back in, I could have.
And I remember one time I was playing baseball, and JT Kirby's papa got smart with me up there, and Daddy and Papa went up there. I guess it was during the game. I remember Papa gonna go up there and whoop JT's papa because of it, so it didn't bad.
Yeah,
I
talking
thought,
hateful, hated.
yeah, I thought it done messed up. Daddy went up there going to talk to JT's daddy, and Papa went up there after the old man. I said, Lord, I said, he about to go to jail again. That old man died.
He did.
Mm-hmm.
I
Cancer
wouldn't
killed
send
him.
him no flags.
You remember that night I come in, woke you up about 5 o'clock in the morning and told you I'd been in jail?
Yeah.
What'd you do about that?
I didn't say nothing. We went up there next morning. And who was that in school with me?
Janetta?
Jeanette?
Woods.
Yeah. Jackie got caught 2 things. Having beer in the car and indecent disposal.
Indecent disposal.
Indecent exposure.
Indecent disposal. Indecent exposure.
Yeah,
Peeing on the side of the road.
yeah. And had Janetta's boy, what's his name?
Raymond.
Yeah, Raymond. And
Jeff Taylor was with us, Marvin Taylor's boy.
yeah. And we got up there to get him out of jail. And Janetta's walking up there crying, raising her hands. Says, Lord, I didn't even know Raymond Gray. See, Janetta finished school with me. And she was having a hard time leaving all that.
Me and Uncle Ronnie, we've been put in jail. You'd think Joel would be the one that's been put in jail, but he ain't never go.
I want to see how in the world he ain't ever made it to a jail cell.
With all them stories he told us.
And Uncle Joe just stayed in good with everybody. Uncle Ronnie said the worst thing, said that you wouldn't get too mad at them for doing something like that, but you'd make them come on, they'd have to tell Mama, and they said that's when they'd start crying. They told them they had to tell Mama what they done.
They tell the mama that.
That you wasn't going to say it, they was going to tell them.
See, Ronnie got in a fight down there. What's the name of that place across the river?
Club.
Look, yeah. Of course, I used to go down there a little bit. But I didn't get in jail. Ronnie got put in jail. He didn't call me. Had to have somebody that had land in Mississippi, you know. He called Junior. Junior went down there and got him out of jail.
Boy, he'd have messed up if he didn't have Uncle Junior, because there wouldn't have been nobody to call. He'd been sitting there.
Yeah. Ronnie had I bought Ronnie a
Z28?
Z28, and he had the tops off of it. Of course, it wasn't convertible, but it was T-tops, you know. And him and a merchant boy, that merchant boy was bad fight all the time. And you know, he died,
Mm-hmm.
Jay.
Who was it?
David Merchant.
Not the deputy sheriff.
That was his daddy. He was David Jr.
Yeah.
His daddy was the sheriff, deputy sheriff.
Deputy sheriff.
Rode four-wheelers with us son.
Yeah. We never gonna ride them four-wheelers with Gene,
He thought he was gonna drown, didn't
huh?
he? He thought he was gonna drown, didn't
Yeah. Yeah, no, he gonna know how long he stayed under.
Water wasn't that deep, was it?
What about all the softball days when Mama was playing softball?
It was some pretty good days. I come in and go with it to the ball game. My mom was a tough softball player. Could you do it now, Mom? What's out?
You got to coaching them some, didn't you?
No, Frank was your coach, man.
You did too.
Yeah.
Mama Crosby was the pitcher.
Yeah, she get on first base every time. She hit a ball right-handed, it just go right over the first baseman's head. She get on it every time. And
She broke her arm playing over there in the church league, wasn't it, Mama? And we had to have a tournament for her to raise her some money. She's probably, what, 50-something when that happened?
Probably.
I ain't sick till she played first base. And Mom
My
played
goodness,
third.
between her and all of Mama Thelma's sisters, y'all had a full team. Y'all wouldn't need nobody else.
one played third base, Sigler played first base. And who was it played second?
Dolores.
Dolores. Tina was shortstop.
Come on over here. Sit down. Well, I remember being little. I'd get in the truck
You-
with Papa in summertime. We'd ride everywhere, trying to trade gas out for cows and everything.
Do you remember when that tornado hit you?
Yeah.
What happened? What happened then?
Well, we stood up there at Jackie's house, at the Park House. There used to be you tore that down, didn't you?
Yeah, back there behind the kitchen.
And we sat there and we listened to that tornado. It hit and then about,
Honey, wasn't we at Mom's storm cellar?
well,
Wasn't we at Mom's storm cellar?
no, we were down there,
We stood up there behind Mom's and heard you go across the bottom.
yeah.
What about that time y'all standing up there listening to that gust of wind come up there? Mama Thelma was scared to death. And she come up there wanting to get in the storm cellar and it wasn't, you said it wasn't that bad.
We had an awning over the back porch instead of,
What happened then?
I only left, I told him it's time.
You wasn't ready to go
I wasn't
before.
ready to go to the awning there.
I remember one night, I was,
That awning was on our back porch,
Yeah.
up to our house.
It was time to go, wasn't it?
I remember one
It was
night,
time to go, wasn't
It
it?
was time to go.
I was spending the night with Mama Scott, and
I don't go for nothing, you know?
and it got stormy, and we had to go to the storm cellar, and she tripped out there and fell and cut her face. You
Yeah.
remember that?
Yes, they might have done.
She done took her medicine that night, and she got tripped up.
You got bowling right there. Had a lot of red clay in it. And, Eddie told them that they needed some red clay building this, levee across that bottom down there. And then, me and Daddy went over there, he had an old L-190 and hooked it to their low boy. And we brought that drag line across there. Come up there and come down there. Went out there and we crossed the old wooden bridge down there. And Billy got it jackknifed around out there in Woolton County. They could get it unloaded. Here comes a gravel truck with a load of gravel on it across that bridge, and it fell in with it. We broke it, and then it fell in with him, you know.
I bet you that fella needed to change your drawers when it started going down, didn't he?
Yeah.
Who'd meet you when you go up mountains, when you was little?
Rooster.
Did you hate that thing? Did you hate that thing?
I hate that thing jump up on my head, flogging me, and taking it. And Mom finally killed it. It beat me down at that well house
Every day.
every day.
Waiting on you to come up there.
And then Mom and Aunt Nate was working, they bought us a bicycle. Boy, I didn't like mine at all. Had that bar across here, you know, I'd have to get up to a little sapling up there like that and get up on it and then push myself off like going down here. And Axton, he got him one, me and him were riding together. And we went way back up together. Why don't I tell them about going and seeing Travis's mama? You know?
Go ahead, tell.
Betty Stanford was my
Your
girlfriend
girlfriend?
in Detroit. And so I started out there, got that bicycle out there, go over. Boy, I kind of watched my daddy and them. I had to go through there, up that road right there, you know. Then when I turned off up there, it was dirt road. And I went over there and I rode and I rode and I rode. And it done getting pretty late then. I said I'd better turn around and come back home. And, but Grandpa, he worked a bunch of them people, colored people that sold it. And they would come over there and it was an old smokehouse out there. It was there one man, one of them was up living up there. And
Well, back
they tell him, says, you just buy us clothes, overalls, you know, and feed us. And we won't take no pay. And boy, the times were hard then, you know.
Tell about when Papa Ole and them come to Detroit, where they come from out in Georgia and all, and how their brother.
No, Papa Ole, he come, Uncle Zeb and Uncle Sam and all of them, they come down here out from Lamar County Lake.
Originally were South Carolina,
Yeah, I think they did
But-
kind of come from South Carolina.
They come here.
They rode a wagon from Georgia, didn't
Yeah, that was Mom, Daddy.
Yeah, there's an old salesman come in up here at Detroit and got to telling the story. One of them come out here and he
That was-
wrote his brother a letter and told him how to get here. This was in the early 1900s.
Yeah.
He come out here on a horse and wagon, and he wrote his brother a letter
Had one horse.
and told him how to get here.
I bet that was late 1800s.
And his brother come, but he missed the point and ended up around Hackleburg, didn't he, Daddy?
Yeah. I asked Mom, I said, Mom, did y'all come through Birmingham? She said, no, she couldn't remember Birmingham. She said, we crossed a ferry boat. That had to be Warrior River up there.
Yeah.
And then they kept on coming. And they just heard Aunt Lizzie, you know, he didn't have two girls. And they homesteaded down there at Lamar County Lake. And then he wanted to go back and see his brother and his daddy. I think his daddy died, and yeah.
I don't know.
But anyhow, he went back to see his daddy now, and then he told them how to come when they come out here, you know. Well, they missed it. And they come out up here, where was it they come out at? Wasn't it up around Bexar or somewhere?
I thought it was up around Hackleburg and Phil Campbell up in there.
Might have been.
His father grew up in there.
Huh?
His father grew up.
Yeah, it's up in there somewhere or another. And anyhow, a salesman coming through there worked that store up there, and he's working this store up here
Where
too.
Randy Rice auctioned it.
Yeah. And that was
That's how close he got
yeah.
from Hackleburg to Detroit back in the 1900s, early 1900s,
See,
with just on word of mouth directions. That's pretty good to get that close.
yeah.
What about that time back in when you and Mama used to go together? How much did it cost you to get you some gas, and tell me about the movie theater?
My mom's snowing.
We had to borrow a little money. Tickets. And I had to have a hot dog or something down at the pole bar. I had some money. But
What about
one of those Dick Young was in there with me.
Eastman.
Dick Eastman's in there. He said, "Here, Larry," says, "I want with like 50 cents. I had enough money to get in the show." And he said, "Yeah, I'll let you have that 50 cents for both of you."
We had enough money on
That's
the
a-
old price. They went up on the price of tickets.
Yeah.
that was the Super 8 movies, wasn't it?
Well, I'm gonna tell y'all something.
What about them blacks?
The blacks went upstairs, and the whites is downstairs. And they could have some of them bad movies on.
Frankenstein or something was one of them, wasn't it?
Hey, they'd be gone. See, they had to go back up through that cemetery.
They'd leave. They'd leave before it got bad on them. Can you remember when everything was separate like that?
Yeah, it's separate. I didn't go to school, but they went down yonder to Todd.
Training school.
Oh,
Todd Training School.
yeah.
Where was it at?
Oh, legs
Down at
down
the
here.
nursing home?
Old Vernon.
It's the nursing home.
The nursing home down?
Yeah, at Vernon, that was a school, wasn't it, Daddy?
It was a Todd school. That's where the blacks went.
But the nursing home down there now is part of that school, wasn't it?
I don't know, I ain't never been in that nursing home much.
Yeah, you know the
You
nursing
like the
home down there
nursing
at
home?
Vernon.
Huh?
The nursing home down there at Vernon.
Yeah,
You like them nursing homes?
I guess they are. Probably needs to be in there by now.
What about Mom? She was a pistol, wasn't she? Mom was a pistol, wasn't she?
Yeah. Mom was a tough little woman.
She lived to be what, 94 or 96?
96.
96? I remember when we was kids, I was
She come
probably
down,
5 years old. Mama would take us up there every month, and she had one of them little coin purses, like a little coin thing that snap together. And she'd get me and Running Joel in there, and she'd open it up, and she'd have us $100. It'd be 5 20s. She'd have them folded up, and she'd give each one of us one, wouldn't she, Mama? I don't know where'd she get her money from.
Drive a check every month.
Yeah.
Man, $100 back in the mid-70s is a lot of money. She was giving us 300, 100 apiece.
She come down there and just squat down and play with y'all.
Yeah. She liked to quilt all the time. She looked just like Granny on Beverly Hillbillies, kinda.
Made her mad if you told her that.
I can see why.
Yep.
Didn't you go out
She
get?
broke her finger.
Huh?
Tell them about when she broke her finger.
When I broke mine.
No, Mom.
Well, how'd she break her finger?
She went to go to the doctor.
Yeah. Well, didn't go to no doctor's office.
She
What about-
finally went and they gave her aspirin. She slept for about 2 days.
What about Mama Trim? You have a lot of memories about her? That's where, you said that's where you was born, wasn't it?
Yeah,
Mama Trim's house?
yeah.
Over at Fairview?
On the trail for a while.
She was a bossy little woman.
She got, Pop Tram died, she got another fella.
He played six.
I remember Mama Trim. I remember going over there.
That's where I was born at up there.
Boy, her mama would have some rounds.
You about got trapped in one of them nursing homes, didn't you?
Oh, I reckon.
Yeah, you did. You go.
You don't get out of here.
Yeah, what'd that fella tell you? You asked him how to get out of here. What
Get out of
did
here.
what'd he tell you?
Said, you don't get out of here.
What'd you say?
I don't know, I told her how to block.
You was gonna make it a point to get out of there.
You went to see Bobby Gillen.
Yeah.
What about your coon dogs? What's your favorite coon dog you ever had?
Go.
You like Gomer the best out of all of them?
Go. Loud. He sounded like 3 or 4 dogs tree.
How much you sell him for?
8,000, and I was sick of it. What at 8,000, Mom?
I was thinking it was 8,500.
What's that? What's that?
He had enough $100 bills, I just didn't, if I'd asked him 10, he'd give me 10.
Oh, Greg Cole said him and that old 2-speed dog used to wear you and Gomer out.
Do what now?
Greg Cole said him and that 2-speed black and tan dog used to wear you and Gomer and Uncle Ronnie and Mary Ann out in hunts.
He ain't never wore nobody else.
He said he'd make y'all mad enough in the woods. He said I just talked trash to him and said they'd get so mad at me. I thought they was gonna whoop me. I said, no, fella. I said if they wanted to whoop you, they'd have whooped you. I said I wouldn't talk nothing to Uncle Ronnie for sure. That's what he said, though. I carried him some gas the other day. He said, "Oh, them Scott boys don't coon hunt no more, do they?" I said, "Who you talking about?" He said, "Larry and Ronnie."
Hey, we're a little kin to him, ain't one.
Yeah. He
Yeah,
cusses every breath.
he's terrible.
Yeah.
He's one of them fine Gewin products.
Who's it?
Ronnie went with his sister. He had a sister named Sherry.
What's his
She was good looking.
What's
wasn't
his
she?
daddy's name?
Russell.
Russell Cole. They redneck.
They
Boy.
kin to Jamie Berryhill. Michelle Berryhill. They kin to them Coles.
I want to tell you, Sid Thorne come in this country. He come down from Michigan somewhere. He'd been working. And I didn't know whose it was. We'd go down there. We'd go down there and go coon hunting. And we couldn't even get that dog holding the coon. And you could shoot the coon out, time it hit the ground. This bulldog come through and just scoop it up and gone with it. And we done that, me and Scott went down there twice, I think. And third time, Scott says, "Now Larry," he says, "we're gonna have both guns loaded." Says, "You shoot the coon out," said, "I'm gonna kill that D-dog."
Daddy, wasn't that you that got the weenie stuck in that dog's mouth?
That's Junior and them's bulldog. Me and Scott Edgar was fishing up there at the pond.
What about that time you Uncle Ronnie and them snuck off down there going swimming in the creek? You told them not to be down there?
No, I come in and one said them boys went to the bottom and I told them not to go.
In my bedroom. And over there on my,
What'd they
where my
do?
shorts go.
They do it anyway?
Yeah,
In the thing.
What'd you do?
in his bedroom.
I went down there.
There's a battery charger. He's got a battery.
Who was with him?
Bring it to me.
Some bright boys.
What'd they do?
No, it's sitting on
They
my.
got put their pieces on the gold.
Not the same thing. We're going to that pot.
They
yeah.
scared the, He scared to death you was gonna whoop him too, wasn't you?
Yeah, it was Jackie and
You just went to the bathroom?
Joe and Ronnie, and then Jeff. Jeff was down there with them. And that boy across the road, what's his name?
Timmy.
Timmy.
Timmy, he was with them. And there's a bunch of them down there. What they told me, she told them, do not go down there, but they went anyhow. And I got down there and I got me a little oak sapling, you know, cut the leaves off of it. And I could hear them. And Jackie and what's that colored boy? Right there with you.
Anthony Williams, Punchy.
They was out there trying to fish, wasn't you, Jake?
That was running, I think, fishing. I don't think I was down there. I think I was too little.
Oh, you were-
Home with me.
oh,
Yeah, 'cause you, Uncle Ron said you always was the baby.
Well, if Uncle Ronnie was, he's 4 years older than I am. So if he was 6 years old, I was 2.
oh, you're gonna be down there.
If he is, he probably wouldn't. He probably didn't get whooped. What about changing them diapers? Do you ever change any diapers?
It'll change the way of one.
No.
Did you change any of them?
Nobody messing up his head.
You didn't want no part of it, did you? Did you gag?
Almost.
I probably would have gagged too.
You just wait. You get married, have kids. Hey,
I'm buying my rag.
Hey, we didn't have Pampers, we had false diapers that you had.
I'd burnt the rags. And I done what Austin Laws. He's got our buddy at church. He's got that little baby, that little girl that sits up there with us at church. He said that she'll mess her pants. He said it'll come out the top of her pants and out the bottom of them. He said that with her wearing pants, he said it'd be something bad. He said he takes her in there in the shower and holds her in the shower.
well, somebody won't get in the shower.
He said he just washes her off in the shower. He said he can't cut that mess. He sent me a video. They sent us a video the other day of him, and he said he was playing with her, and that baby pooped, or sounded like she pooped, and it run up her back, got out on her bedclothes. He said he didn't mean to say it, but he said, "Oh shit!" And then had him tore up, boy. Oh me.
I don't reckon I ever did change one little one. We used to carry, Jackie ain't never come along, carried Joe and Ronnie to Columbus when it wool cold where we'd go. And they put hide seed in there. They were pretty small.
She is.
She likes about, Ronnie's birthday's on the 5th. Joe was on the
Hey, if I
13th.
hold her, she does that in bits. She does it right too.
What's in lights? What's in lights there? Oh, what is that?
Blush,
Huh?
blush, makeup.
Well,
Well, tell them about you and Tiny hunting down there.
oh, me and Tiny go hunting.
You want a drink? Want water?
Bottle of water.
Oh,
It's cold.
me and Tiny, we go cave hunting. He had an old dog that,
Yeah.
a trio coon. And we was down there,
Where's it at?
It's on the nightstand where my shorts is.
The nightstand where shorts is.
The dresser thing.
The dresser over by the
It's in a
top.
little block charger that plugs into the wall. It's about this tall.
He said it looks like a charger.
plugged into a
It's plugged into a
The
charger.
battery in it's white or black one.
And he said the battery's white or black.
Tell her to FaceTime me.
Do you see it? What little thing?
Hmm?
The what? FaceTiming.
This thing.
McKinley, that ain't the right side.
This
Dude.
is. Did he swap his shorts and his other one?
It's the one going into the
In your mom's old closet?
Yeah.
Ain't nothing up there but a dehumidifier. That's all that's up there.
The dehumidifier is plugged up to the plug-in.
Turn the camera around, Kim.
The charger is on top of the dresser.
He said that the. Look on top of that dresser.
Daddy,
Joe
what?
told me he had you.
Larry,
Daddy.
Joe told me he had you a woman, good looking woman.
And he lost his mind.
Daddy, what about when you bought that 57 from Herschel? You remember how much you had to give for it?
I don't know how much I had. I can't remember how much you did for it. You.
$3,800.
No.
Was it more than that?
No.
About
About 1,500, I think.
no, I'll give him more than that. No.
I don't know.
Yeah, but I had to go to the bank and borrow money.
$2,800.
Huh?
With $2,800.
I gave him no more to give for.
Alright, some Debbie.
I didn't change but one thing on it. He hit Herschel had the shift up on the column, you know, and I put a Herschel shift in the floor.
Yeah, go with him.
Control. Yeah. Since the daddy McKinley break it all mine before I got to.
I didn't eat any. I can put my hand on the Bible and say I did not eat any. Oh, you.
When they put me in the ring, Coburn dropped down determined to make me quit smoking. And he'd have the whole team get around me. And he'd give each one of them a number. And he didn't tell them what it was, they just got it and looked at it. And told me to get in the ring. And he called their number, they had to hit me. And I had to be turning all the time. And he was bound and determined he was gonna make me quit smoking, but he didn't.
Who did make you quit smoking? Who did make you quit smoking?
I'm gonna place bets on Mama.
What would she say, Rhonda?
Don't smoke.
Bad for you.
What all, your senior year, didn't you get, weren't you a class officer or something, or Mr.
He got
SHA?
Mr. SHA.
How would you manage that with dropping a cherry bomb in the school?
Miss Turner and them was key to it.
Boy, I really like her. And I like Miss Chaffin. Did you like Miss Chaffin?
I know who you like the best.
Huh?
I know who you like the best.
Hey,
Miss Mackenzie.
I hated her.
Who?
Miss Mackenzie.
Who was that?
Bobby teacher.
Yeah.
I don't know. You
Some
want
people
that?
up and down.
You want
We all of us played football. Me and Roy and Jackie.
Roy Fowler and Jackie Irvin.
The actor, and anyhow, we went in her room. That's what got good practice football, what he did. We got the answers to all the questions she asked, and wrote them down, you know. And, we missed 4, 5, 6, something like that, you know. And, so, I'm talking about, we went in there and got the answers. And, we wrote down on the paper, the A and B and stuff like that, you know. And, she give it to us on Friday. And then she's gonna grade the papers, over the weekend. Well, she told all of us dumb ones that she lost our papers. But I didn't lose mine. She put us back there on the table by herself and give it to us again. Me with the answers. Boy, I didn't miss a one. And when we got through, my bail rung, you know, I went up there and handed it to her. I said, Mr. Kennedy, I'm so glad you let us take that over. I said, I had a chance to look up them that I didn't know. And I said, I believe I made 100 on it this time. Boy, I could see far coming out of it.
She give you a 0?
No, she had to give me an A.
How many of them
on
A's?
that paper, but if, my other grades pulled it down to a B.
I was about to say, how many of them A's did you get?
Well, I don't know, I didn't get too many.
Few and far
I
afterwards.
got doing better when I got to go with Mom. She was getting my homework done. I just didn't do homework. I had to do the other things too.
Did you do his homework for him, Mama?
I finished school twice.
You
What
remember when you used to pick me up from school when I was going to Soldier?
Yeah,
Where would we go after school when you picked me up?
I would go to Cal Pastor.
No. Sometimes you take me to get something to eat.
Yeah.
Or we'll go get
wow.
something.
What did we go
Mr. Jeans.
Mr. Jean.
No. He carried us to the polar bar more than anywhere.
You weren't in school when he would pick me
You know
up.
that American Legion? huh?
No, but I'd always come with him and
No,
get you.
you didn't.
Well, when Mama carried us, we'd
Papa,
always
come
go
get
polar
me.
bar. We'd go to polar bar and we'd go to the library over there. And I hated reading, but we still went to the library.
He'd come get me, we'd go to Mr. Jeans. And if he had to go back to work, he'd get my Mr. Jeans to go. And we'd go to the Soldier office and Kelly was secretary. And she'd go back there and get me some
Well, you
chips
don't
out
know
of the
it all,
Tom's
though.
machine.
You don't know it all. I'm gonna get right, you know, don't get it put in it now. I went out there and I said, that's the teacher. I said, where's Riley at? She says, they out playing now. And so I said, well, I go out here and wait on her. I said, I'm gonna get her. I said, if all of us is working in Hamilton now, I said, we gonna let her go to Hamilton instead. And I walked out there and I looked over and walked the track. My goodness, I come out in a little black boy. I said, man, I got to get her out there. Who was that little black boy?
I don't know, I had a bunch in my class.
She had a bunch of them little
I
black
was
boy
outnumbered.
drinks, but she ain't saying.
Yeah, I had to get her out down there quick.
Remember that one morning you come and pick me up for school and we hit that owl and shattered the front glass of your pickup? It scared us to death. Come through the windshield, the front windshield.
I tell you one that I remember. I remember we'd always get up in the morning in the summertime if we stayed with Mama and Papa. Mama would make us some pancakes in there on that flat top griddle thing. We'd eat us a pancake and Mama and Papa would shell that corn out there and they'd leave the old husks and everything out there in tubs, and we'd get them old big blue tubs with them old nylon ropes on the side of them. We'd load them on that red four-wheeler. Me and Riley and Papa would go down there and throw them out. And there's a cow down there that Riley was attached to.
Big mama.
She never helped us work the dang cows. Didn't do nothing with that dang cow. But she's attached to it. And boy, Papa told us one day, I told Papa and them, I said, boy, we messing up. We was loading them cows up, going to sell them. And Papa said, if she goes on that trailer, she's gone. That's the darn first cow that went on the trailer, and Riley
She was
seen
off
that.
though.
Yeah.
Riley
She
seen
looked
that, she
bad.
come down there, and oh my goodness gracious.
We haven't
thought
had
somebody-
bad lodgers for a while. See, Diddy had hogs. And we said I on hogs, I hated them hogs. You could just walk in there, what is that? Come out stinking, just like they are. And, we had, I went and bought some cows. And they took the cage off of them. And I come home, I turned them loose out there. No grass grew up like this high. I said, wanted to go them that way. I said, you had them. You remember that one? And sure enough, cow went that way, boy, one that took off and running. And all at once she went outside.
Where'd you go? Where'd you go?
Them turkeys had wash places in them.
You done fell off into one of them ditches?
That's
What
not
did I
me
tell
falling in
you?
that thing.
Right.
The next time you buy cows, you make sure you got a pasture to put them in.
And,
How'd they plant that grass down there?
for
Down there in that bottom? How'd they plant that ryegrass back in?
that plant.
Would you like to have that job?
He set that airplane right down on it.
What about my mom took that truck over in New York?
Oh, yeah. I was over yonder, Joe and Ronnie decided they wanted to make a crop. And they planted some land from Eldridge to Ambleberg. And of course, they'd been hauling water in an old truck there, big old water tank. And I was over there applying, and Michael Norton come over. He said, Larry said, you need to quit over here, you need to go home now. Says, one's done turned that truck over in a big ditch. I said, all right. I took off coming, you know. I got thinking, a big ditch. No big ditch around my I got over here, and the old truck had water in it about half full in the tank, you know. And when she hit a little low spot, that water shifted one side and just turned it. Water said real slow motion when it
Yeah.
Did it scare you to death, Mama?
No,
Did you yell?
no,
Did you have your seatbelt on?
no. Didn't have no seatbelt.
You was in trouble.
How'd you get it turned back over?
Took a
Pulled it
tractor.
over with the tractor.
tractor.
I was just gonna move it just a little bit because I was mowing the yards and it was in the way. I couldn't mow there.
It didn't took
Bad
over.
idea, wasn't it?
Well, that one,
You have to change your britches after you do it.
and I was driving on a Ford tractor I had. I'm only, I couldn't think where a big ditch was at around my house, you know. And, but it turned it over.
It was right there where the cement drive is. It goes down to the sheds. It was pulled up next to the road there. And it's just a little dip down place like that.
It was a little ditch there. It wasn't it ain't no big ditch.
Who told you that?
But I tell you, the worst thing I had, I went and bought some cows. And I come in, and they'd been all sitting on the porch. Jackie, running,
Well, I know
All
what
right.
it is.
and Wanda. And they sitting there crying. I said, what's the matter with y'all? And they got the point over towards the carport there, you know. And Ronnie had spent the night with Mom. And he and I think Joel let him drive Diddy's truck one time down in the pasture.
Driving lessons.
Huh?
Driving lessons.
Yeah, give him driving lessons down in the pasture. Well, it had a 4-speed transmission in it. And Ronnie turned in up there and had brake out there, you know, up about that high. And the rails of that truck caught that brake. And then the other side caught one of his car.
Boy, it tore creation.
And then it put it up in the utility room.
You got a mess, didn't you?
Yeah, but I like it now. Because we got a utility room inside.
What do you think the insurance company was gonna say?
I don't know. I called him night boy, see if he could lay brick. They said, no, said an order man quit. I said, I got a man can make you an order. Enron. And so I went and got Enron. Brought him out there. And he did, he done a good job making them order it all for us, you know. And I got ready, I walked to where Enron. And I said, Enron, I said, Joel will take you home and run a bill. And Dickie walked back over there and he said, he wasn't the one that run into the when that one said, well,
Which one of them boys run in the house?
he's gonna
make sure.
He wasn't getting in the car with Ronnie, was he?
What about mine? Your driving lessons.
Oh,
Remember when you got my mom that car, and you was gonna take it somewhere? We gonna go to Hamilton in it. And
I
didn't
tell you
know
one
how to
better
turn the
than
lights on.
I tell you one better than that.
We drove them in the dark.
yeah.
What about us coming back from the beach this year? And we got to Montgomery and you sitting over there snoozing and Mama was back there snoozing. And it was all I could do to stay up. And I couldn't see them concrete dividers in that road. So we went across him. I thought Papa was going to get out the car. He went to
Hey, what a girl thing.
It's sparks flying.
Yeah, we come down the road, hiding cars running on the sidewalk.
Papa said,
Right on the pavement.
Papa said, don't you worry about me ever going back to sleep. He was back asleep about 5 minutes after that. But I sure enough thought he's getting out the car.
About the flat tire?
Yeah, we had a donut on the back on top of that. We done jumped this concrete sidewalk to get across it.
He done that when Haggy was driving. He had us up there running on the sidewalk.
You was ready to come out of there, wasn't you?
And the pavement down here with the other side.
You was ready to come out of there, wasn't you?
You couldn't see nothing. They didn't have the roads marked down there, but we figured it out.
We didn't hit that.
No, we got spun around.
You remember when we was kids, we'd save up, y'all'd save your change and put it in a butter churn up there and we'd go to Panama City.
Yeah, I'd have enough gas money saving my change the other day. Give us Panama City. We give us Panama City every summer. Then we'd get
A lot of them trips we got to make as we got older was cause of PK now, when they'd have them gas conventions and stuff.
we went to Grand Ole Opry. You remember that day?
That's when we rented a bus.
Yeah. Oh, God, PK told me I'd never do that again. He said, y'all had a wreck. Said it was white, you know, gas.
Didn't bother about us, just his part. He'd lose his wagon.
What made my mom decide to go home and start keeping us? You remember her telling you she wanted to go home? Did she tell you she wanted to go home? Or did you tell her to?
What's that?
When my mom retired and started keeping all of us. She didn't
Yeah.
want them.
I found out
Yeah.
he had sugar.
Yeah. And I went and bought a golf cart.
God,
yeah. And I come home with it, you know. And I'll come home and got a trailer for it, you know. Anyhow,
You told her she's upset about buying a golf cart.
yeah. And did you know that was the best babysitter you ever seen? They look like the Beverly Hillbillies. They just hanging on all sides.
We didn't have the seat that folded down on the back. And it had been, I guess, it was Riley. Riley rode up front with my mom and whoever small, but I know for a fact, maybe Jacob. It'd been, probably Jacob would have been next. And then Riley would hold him. And then me and Jaron would stand on the back and put them where the clubs go. We'd put them around our waist like seat belts. Mama said, y'all got to put them on. We'd put them things on and be hanging on back there or something.
Like Beverly Hillbillies coming up, they just hanging on all the corners.
I used to get in trouble when I was little because of Papa. He'd come down there and get me. Wouldn't even, I'd have to go in there and leave a note on the dresser. I didn't even have a cell phone. I'd go in there and leave a note on the dresser, and me and Papa would go. He'd be down there, golly bum, the sun just come up, and you'd hear him coming down there. He'd be knocking on my window. He'd yell at me, and he'd say, "You in there? Get up!" And I'd go over there, and he'd say, "We gotta go. Let's go." I didn't know where we was going. I'd put some clothes on. Golly bum, we went all over the country, didn't we?
Yeah, we
Riding around looking for gas customers, and then
we was looking for horses.
horses, gas customers, whatever we could find.
Anything you can spend money on.
We went one time, I'll never forget it. We went one time to go buy us a bull. This fella said, "Oh, we got a good looking bull."
Keep it in, what do you call it?
Circulation.
Circulation, don't you?
You remember that time me and you went over there and we was gonna buy us a bull, Papa? And when them fellas had that thing pinned up, it was there may have been a little Angus bull or a Brangus bull, but they had it in them panels like what we got down there. And we was gonna go load it up, and they was gonna separate 2 cows out from it. And they got in there with him. You remember that joker jumping over in panels? You remember when that we went and looked at him? He jumped over in panels. And they said, "We'll catch him right back." Papa said, "You won't put him on this trailer." So when we turned around, I think that was a good little. It's probably all the way over at Oklahoma or Pontotoc. Golly bone, we went all over the place trading on that. Papa used to always tell me about a horse that it had blue eyes that couldn't see good at night. So we would never buy no horse with blue eyes. But son, we got into riding horses pretty heavy there for a little while.
Yeah, sure.
Mm-hmm.
The wagon.
Jaron, I remember having the wagon. Jaron used to be allergic to that thing.
The horses.
We
You
went to the
told me
rodeo.
I was been going a long time ago with drove them stagecoaches. I had a pair down for Gray Mares.
DD and Lady.
Yeah. And you could not make them walk. Boy, I'd take them up the road, and I'd lay them lines to them and run them just as wide open as they go, you know. And then when they come back, they'd walk for a little bit, then it's the same old thing. But I got fed up with them, I sold them and bought me a pair of mules. And they was out of gated mares. And Mama helped me fix my wagon up. Had black leather and that cut and shaped up around it, you know. And I got them gated mules now. I sold them gated mules for way up there at High. Where did I get them gated mules one? I sold them when I had to go to Elgin because I didn't have time to work them when I was in Elgin.
I remember all them Saturday nights we'd go over to
It's
the
a horse show.
horse show.
Yeah.
Or when we went to church up here at Wesley Chapel, that's how we got money for the church. We run the concession stand over there.
We even done that.
And the cakewalks. Oh, I hated them things. I always had to do them.
Boy,
Well,
I
one
had a
time I
bunch of
wanted
blue
cake.
ribbons at the high.
Daddy, I remember one time we had some cows over there in front of J.C. Carter's in that field.
Yeah. I need to compete now.
That was when? That's in the 70s, I guess, wasn't it?
Probably one.
Right there in front of where James Hall lives. We had cows in that pasture.
It ain't nothing but junk now.
It's woods now.
Y'all remember it was like
I'm telling you, I can remember when we had cows down there at the little John C.
I don't believe you do, Hagan.
I know I do. I remember riding in that blue truck down there.
Well, see, John C come in there and setting out pine trees.
We didn't have them down there long after I remember.
You were born in 98, son.
We had them there into the early 2000s.
I don't know.
So, I don't remember.
I just about guarantee you we had them there till about 2001, 2002.
Yeah, hey, John. You know, I put some new post up in there.
There's got to be some pictures. My mom took pictures every time we turned around. There's got to be some pictures somewhere.
That's where you get it from, Danny. Takes pictures left and right.
Or went down and got them posts, and I could cut them up and make a fence post out of it.
Boy, I remember having to work them cows. We'd work them cows get so hot, and by the time we got done, Mama would have us a dinner up here. We'd go up there and eat on the back porch.
You know, he come from down there.
Remember our 2 vacations we took out west?
Yeah.
It was just spur of the moment, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Me and Ronnie was working at Luke's. Daddy come home and said, it was on a Friday evening, he said, y'all call Luke and see if he'll let y'all off for a week. We said, where are we going?
Over to Diane went with us
I
one
said,
time.
where are we going to? He said, we're going to California.
One of them trips, you had a cigarette hanging out of your mouth the whole time. Every picture.
Oh, I smoked all the time.
Oh, Pepe scared one of y'all out there in California, didn't he?
No, he scared, who was he? He
Was
scared
it Bill?
Yeah, it was Bill.
Yeah. He walked up behind Bill, stuck his finger in his back like that, and says, hand me your billfold. Real easy, over your left shoulder.
So what
Bill
Bill
said he was getting it out. Shaking. I think Bill Trump said, please don't kill me.
Must be something wrong with Danny.
Somebody on that trip with y'all, one of them trips with y'all, went out there and shot a gun, didn't they?
That's Junior Warren.
Jimmy Warren. He's crazy.
We seen Los Angeles. We seen
Los
Los
Vegas.
Los
Angeles.
Angeles. And Joel was with us. We pulled into the police stop. We were gonna stay in the motel. We went up there to it. And they told Joel, said, put your money in under that glass. I said, that's bulletproof glass. Joel said, come on, Eddie. I ain't staying no more where we got that bulletproof.
And there was somebody out there in the parking lot fighting.
Yeah.
What Junior Warren
Junior
do?
got his gun out and shot it up in there.
Yeah, we pulled out. Jimmy shot that gun up.
What did you think?
You had her down, didn't you?
I'm talking about we got up on one of the freeways, you know, you go up real high,
Yeah.
and, of course, they got Birmingham kind of like that now. You go up and across town and up there in Birmingham.
What about when you and Mama flew on that plane?
Did you think he was gonna get off the ground?
No, I didn't think he did get off.
Well, how come?
This dude sitting in front of me, weighed 300 pounds. Then what?
That 300 ain't too big. That's just a little bit heavier than me.
Yeah. And it had to hit the ground 3 or 4 times before it.
You didn't like that flying.
I guess it's all right. We flew back down one.
You gonna go fly again?
No, I don't care much about it. Newey,
After that last flight, I'll tell you what, I don't care much about it either.
see, Newey sent me at different places to his office if he's having trouble. And I'd been going far some people. And,
Papa's the axe man.
yeah, I was the axe.
What y'all
And-
think? We
But anyhow, he gave me one to that trip, and when I was always out there on the boat, Joe would call me and said, "Newey sold out."
Time to do something else. Huh?
Well, we was up there in Elgin, they sold that out. Seemed like everywhere I go, they'd sell it out, you know. And so I decided it's time me and one to get in the gas business.
Sick and tired of it.
You know who I heard
Sell
today?
What?
You know what I heard today?
Huh?
There's a new gas company coming in the state of Alabama,
Yeah, who
up there at Addison.
did Addison?
You want to take a guess who it is?
Who?
Leon Denson.
Leon Jensen.
I thought he was in the cars.
Leon ain't got enough sense to run.
No, he'll spend his first $270,000 on regulators like he did with us, and he'll go out.
I thought he did cars.
They drop the price. You ain't got to have
You
big
gotta
money to
have
go
that
in
much
business
money.
over here now.
You gotta have that much money anymore.
Yeah.
$300,000. Oh, you
yeah.
gotta have-
Oh, man, you didn't have 300,000, did you?
They said they ain't no independence. Daryl come today do his inspection on my truck. Said he only has 2 independents left. He told me he named one like Fredericks or Fred, I forgot. The other one was that and that what's it called up under Russell Moulton. What is that up there? Orange and white. Vaughn.
Vaughn. That's it.
Vaughn's the only big one he's got left.
I figured Nathan would be here.
They're teaching a propane class at Bethel
You
to get people interested in the business. You go up there and take the test. You don't have to you don't have to go get your license. You get licensed to work in propane up there.
Yeah. What's
License is
what's
only
the
good for
price?
3 years until you go to work somewhere.
Huh?
To get into Alabama.
But as long as you got them, they're lifetime.
You don't have to pay that much money.
I think propane was a thing that passed.
It is.
Electricity's gonna take it. Electricity's gonna
Natural
take it.
gas.
Natural gas is gonna take it. And,
You know how long
Maybe I
they're
can kill
running
out
it now?
more and go to home.
It's not 8 years.
I still haven't been able to go to
that's a
home.
long time. Man.
Mm-hmm.
When
What
you
What do you
start
want to
your
go to
new job,
Hamilton for?
A couple weeks probably.
Put my
you
application
do
in.
good up there.
Tell Daddy what you told me about getting a new job.
Huh?
Tell Daddy what you told me about getting a new job.
I think you done good.
You told me you didn't care for me to get a new job as long as what?
You drive home.
I couldn't move.
Oh,
He said, you can take any job you want to as long as you don't have to move.
yeah, good. That ain't a bad. One showed me the building up there today.
It's nice.
We went
They're fixing to
by
build a
there.
new one.
Yeah.
You remember when Riley was little, and we'd always have to go out to Oklahoma, and she'd tell her, you'd ask her who she's going to stay with.
Yeah.
What'd you tell her?
Huh?
How'd that go?
No, she said she had to go see Larry, her grandpa. I said, no, that's me. Boy, I'd have to just all messed up.
She said, I'd have to go stay with Papa Larry. He said, you here?
When I don't take his teeth out.
Yeah.
Do you think I should get in trouble? Do you think I should get in
Oh, no,
trouble?
hey, let me tell y'all this about Haggett. Had a little, barn,
Toy barn.
toy barn.
That still one. It's in that closet.
She's still there.
If we had it, Mama ain't thrown it away. It's still there somewhere.
My Legos are probably still in there.
But,
She bought me Legos one time.
She probably still got my
What
Barbie
was
doll.
it? What was about that dollhouse?
but that doll house, you know, and Dana reached around there and run her hand out. Boy, hanging. I scared him to death.
A lot to have died, didn't he?
Yeah. And he'd come up there and rest of them playing with it. He wouldn't have too much to do with it.
I mean, would you want to play with something that teeth come out of and a hand come out of? No, you don't put a point up. I remember Mama always telling me and Riley, go get us some soft drinks out from under the bed. And Papa would sleep with his false teeth in. And man, he'd fall asleep, he'd wake up, and he had 2 or 3 pair. He kept them in the windowsill. That was weird. You'd go up there and look in the window, looking out from the sink, and his teeth would be in different cups up there, just in water.
I don't tell you something.
And Mama would tell us to go get drinks out from under y'all's bed, and I'd reach under there And one day I remember reaching under there and I grabbed something. It wasn't no box. I pulled it out, your teeth, and it about gave me a heart attack. So I wouldn't go get
Johnny
more
probably
drink.
got the gag in his when I had them put in, I went up there and they said, how many you want to put?
Don't believe it.
I said, get them all. Just let one sore mouth do it. I had one out anyhow. I had one partial plate. But,
That's like a couple months ago. About a month ago, Daddy was chewing on an outlander and broke his crown out and just sat it on the middle of the console. Now, don't you touch that.
Did you ever have to get on to me much? About Hagen and Jared? Probably Hagen more than Jared.
yeah.
I don't think I ever got whooped when I was at
I don't
y'all's
think Papa's
house.
ever whooped me.
I don't think none of you ever whooped me either.
Grandkids.
Probably needed to.
I ain't got whooped by either set of grandparents.
I was scared of Papa. I won't Papa man.
Roddy'd go with me. Then I had a 5-speed pickup. And of course, didn't have no, just had a short cab on it. And it had a place to seat, you pulled it down and Roddy could sit on that. And we go down the cow pass and she says, Papa says, where's my cow at? You call her Big Mama?
Big Mama.
Yeah,
Spotted cow.
yeah. And
She was brown and white, wasn't she?
we drive down all over that pasture down there.
You remember when I used to get in trouble for not cleaning my room? Your mama would call and want to go somewhere and I'd say I couldn't go because my room wasn't clean.
Yeah,
What would you do? You make my mom come.
yeah.
My mom come help me clean my room so we could go somewhere. So I could go with them. We'd go to Amer Walmart and Pickle Barrel.
That's what me and Mama done the other day, went to the pickle bar.
Get you some fish. And I'd go in there and eat their butter out of the bowl.
Yeah, you believe I'd eat butter? I'm talking about just pure butter.
And eat it with a fork.
That's
They could
disgusting.
gag.
There's something wrong with you.
Go to Dorsey in the summertime.
Mm-hmm.
Papa, you know how much we get paid to go work them
Papa's the
Cookings.
one that started all these customer
$5.
appreciation
To work for
days.
what?
They'd have customer appreciation days at the gas offices, and he'd come get me and Hagen, make us go with him. We'd
See.
get $5.
See, that's the worst way to do it. You just start pre-booking your gas. You go over and feed them. Let them come in and eat and all, you know, and you pre-book the gas while they're there.
Tell what you done that time you ordered all the furniture.
Do what now? Furniture,
Office furniture.
office furniture. What do I do?
When you was into it with that man up around Addison up there, you called and ordered him some furniture.
Scratch the Daddy probably
You
gonna be
don't
yelling
remember
at me
that?
all the time.
Well, what did I do?
You ordered him a bunch of furniture. Had it delivered to his office.
Yeah. He said it was a mix-up. I went by to see how he's liking it, you know, and he said, well, it was a mix-up, something other on that. Said they come right down here and got every bit of it. Who was it that done that for?
You gotta search your
Somebody
files.
that you didn't like.
And he bought furniture.
Yeah, I wanted it fixed up, so I ordered him a bunch of furniture.
They
Office
told him to go pick it
furniture.
up,
Uh,
and then told him to go pick it up.
no, they didn't get no payment on it, so they went and picked it up.
They repoed his furniture.
He was a competitor. I was rough on them competitors.
I remember every time I go to Mama's and Papa's, My mom would cook me a weenie in the microwave.
Eat weenies up. She cooked us pizza for breakfast.
And sometimes I'll just go in there and ask her if I can eat one raw, and I just get a weenie out of the fridge and eat it raw.
How much money do you spend in groceries when we'd come and stay with my mom?
Wasn't much.
We'd have cereal and cookies and
Yeah.
pizza and chicken nuggets.
Tea cakes.
Yeah, tea cake, ice cream, popsicles.
Well, I sure could go for a good tea cake right now.
I
I'm
don't
gonna
think
make some next week. Ronnie's got a camera ordered. He's gonna make movies of me cooking. What y'all like?
Well, I can
Okay.
Like a woman.
in that sense, I need potato salad done, I need chicken dressing done,
What'd they tell you?
I need
What'd they tell you that?
Potato soup, tea
Oh.
cakes.
Hey, when you gonna cook me something to eat?
yeah, hey,
Well, I was gonna make a peanut butter pie, and I don't have the
do
recipe.
you want to cook some
Oh, you can probably whip something together.
You wanna
I ain't
cook
never
some
ate nothing
chicken
bad that
spaghetti?
she cooked.
When you gonna make some more of that tater tot casserole?
I've been thinking about making me some of that.
Mama, do you remember
Now
that?
Riley can make a good tater tot casserole.
When,
Boy, my mom made
when
one up
Mama
there at
and
the
Daddy
lake.
told you that they was having me? How'd they tell you and Papa?
It didn't matter. They should have just kept their mouth shut, in my opinion.
Hagen's just jealous, ain't he, Papa?
How much difference is it in your lady?
2.5
Almost
years.
3 years.
Yeah.
He's just mad because
They was miserable for 2.5 years without me. And then when I come on, it's all better.
Now, me and you really rode them horses and shows and all.
You remember us riding them horses? And I was on Little Man, we'd come back up the hill. And I didn't think nothing about it. And I about broke his
We're
wind
looking
coming
at
up
my
that
baby
hill over
pictures.
there coming from Lost Creek.
Yeah.
You remember that?
Yeah.
I about killed
That's
that
that's how I really feel about Hagen. Hagen might say he don't like me, but these pictures sure do beg to differ. I just didn't like him.
horse. That's me and McKinley.
Uh,
We got a little
Oh,
McKinley.
yeah.
Well,
She didn't like Hagen.
she wasn't little, but she was small.
And there's me.
That you there?
Yep.
That's it.
Them big black eyes, ain't you?
Yep.
She looked just like Daddy.
Daddy said I was probably taking a poop.
What'd you get your mouth open for?
Yawning.
I got
You
some
don't go
pictures
to
right
bed
here.
about 10 o'clock. You still got 2 hours.
Where'd you say that cotton field was at up there?
Over there at Mr. Gilmore's.
Yeah.
Junior's house. I thought y'all took
You
it
know what?
at Harry's.
You know that sign of
Which
you when you
one? What?
come in
Harry's?
that
Tell them about when you and William Turman got in a fight at school.
Oh, yeah. William Turner. He's failed 2 or 3 years. And I had PE 4th period. Then we eat dinner. And we playing 2-hand touch, and every time I'd catch the ball, he'd knock me down with 2 hands, give me a shove. And we had it PE, and then we had to go to lunch. We're out there in the lunchroom you had to line up outside. And I lined up out there and I just made it in the door. He come by and said, "Scott," said, "get out of the way." I said, "I'm getting here in front of you." Well, I done had all of him out the state. I turned him around, and when I turned him around, I hit him so hard, knocked him all across that table there. And I didn't go around the table, I went over the table on him. And I was steady pouring it to him over there. And
And then there's this one.
it was the coach, Coburn, that come up there and got us. He come back there and got
Where
us.
is it?
And carried us in there in the whooping room.
I feel like boring.
And give us
Mama,
5
will you
licks
do
a
that?
piece.
It's up there in your yard, ain't
And,
it?
I just got to Soldier. I was in 7th grade at Detroit. I was in 8th grade then. And, I see, I didn't even know William Turner much. I didn't know much of them people over there. And, so that evening, went to football practice, he put me at middle linebacker. And then I kept smoking. He was bound and determined he was gonna make me quit smoking. He gets me, I'd go down to the Legion Hut to the dance on Friday night. I've been sitting on the hood of the car down there, right there at the door where you go into the dance. And I feel somebody reach around and get a cigarette. So I didn't think too much about it. He get him a cigarette out. He said, "Do you have a light?" I called his voice then. And I reached back there and I lit his cigarette for him. He says, "I'll see you at 5 o'clock tomorrow evening." Oh, Monday evening, I'll see you at 5 o'clock. That whistle would blow down there at the oil mill at 5 o'clock. And
A whole earthquake over here.
all the rest of them,
Did some people put that up?
all the rest of them got to go in. And he kept running me. And he'd run me, and he'd run me.
Hello?
And, old
Uh,
Peewee bars come up there to see me.
Riley?
It's a barrel.
Yeah, we ordered
And he
being
asked me, He
unpaid.
said, "Larry," says,
Riley said she
"Are you
ain't seen
still
one.
smoking?" And I said, "Yeah." And he said, "Well, I just wondered if COVID ever broke you."
Yeah, we need to get that changed where they mail it to like one of our houses.
And who was it broke me from smoking? Was it Riley?
Alright,
And
alright.
And Coon hunting.
No, I've been,
You didn't do it long after I was born.
yeah.
I told you it was mean.
Jackie, I got that bill sale on the
I told Daddy it was mean to coon hunt, or I told Papa it was mean to coon hunt.
man.
I said, they're just
Johnny
little
said you might
coons.
need
They
a
don't
copy of it for
do
the
nothing.
insurance.
It'd make me mad if Papa went hunting and killed them.
What'd y'all do when I was born, Papa?
What'd
y'all do when I was born?
No,
His name,
when they was born,
I don't know.
Joel Scott picked me up.
Mm-mm.
Yes, huh?
No.
Yes, huh?
Mama come and got us.
Mm-mm.
Mama, did you not come and get me and Hay in the morning?
She stayed the night with us, and we went to school. And we was at school when McKinley was born.
McKinley was born on a Sunday.
No.
Was that born on Sunday?
Oh, I love when I'm right.
You say
and
you
it's
got
wrong.
me.
Who in the crap am I thinking about? It must have been Jacob.
You're thinking of when McKinley was in Birmingham.
No, we went to
No.
Winfield when I'm thinking of this.
McKinley,
Joel was
McKinley was born in Winfield.
the
But we
boss
turned her to
when,
Birmingham.
or at Hamilton.
McKinley was born on a Sunday. Mama had to come wake us up
I think it may have been
and
when
take us
Jacob
to
was
the
born.
hospital. And we sat there and sat there and sat there. Cause Mom and Daddy been gone, me and you was in the house asleep.
You didn't even go attempt to wake them up?
Well, he didn't want to have to drag us around. I wouldn't have wanted to either. Especially Hayden.
I was the better kid out of the two of us, so I don't want to hear nothing.
And I'm the best out of three of
No,
us.
you're just a suck up.
When you're the
You got
favorite,
me.
you're the favorite.
We didn't have to
I
go
feel
to
like
dance-
Riley's gonna be the
dance
favorite,
class. You, Mama, had to take me to tap dance class and ballerina class.
Over, what was that?
Can you imagine her being a
Fulton?
ballerina?
Before you get to Fulton,
What if she was doing
Not
what was saying
Fulton.
she for it?
I can't remember her. Kathy Steele.
She
Is that it?
All that matters
Kathy
is
Steele
that
dance.
all that matters is that when you did do all that mess, Donald Wayne's daughter still beat you. So I don't want to hear nothing about it. This is on tape now. So there we go.
What is it? What do you mean?
Yeah, she looks just like he does.
Like a midget.
No, just
She's
like
taller than him.
What do you mean she beat you?
Some kind of pageant.
No, what kind of pageant? A beauty pageant.
It was a baby pageant.
No, it was a beauty pageant.
It was a
And you
baby
got toasted
pageant.
by Little Dub Jr.
Oh, because she didn't cry.
That really probably would have been embarrassing.
Yeah, it is embarrassing. And Riley deep down knows it. She just putting a front on.
I'm not worried about it.
Yeah, you are.
No, I'm not. You the one getting pictures from her and texts from
I
her.
don't get pictures from her. She
Hey,
said she told me she thought I was gay because I wouldn't text her back. And Austin said no.
So that's more
Austin
embarrassing.
said no. Austin said, well, if that's what that means, he said I'm gay too, so leave me alone.
What would y'all do when Mom and Dad had to go to work? Y'all had to keep me, wouldn't you? When Dad was working at Hollister in the marathon. At night, y'all had
Yeah.
to keep me. Then he'd come to get me, what would I do?
Cry, probably.
You go to sleep.
I'd fake like I was asleep so Daddy wouldn't come get me. I'd tell Papa, don't tell Daddy.
Gosh, Mama, what did we eat all the time? What was one thing you had to cook for us all the
Mama's
time?
menu was kind of limited.
I know what I'm
Probably
looking for.
French fries.
And something else.
It was,
Popcorn chicken
yeah, it was some popcorn chicken.
on toothpicks.
On toothpicks. You remember
That's
that?
where that started. I started doing that. I was
Mama
like,
used
I
to
know
put toothpicks in our popcorn chicken to get us to eat it. You remember when we used to go to Sam's Club when they first started opening Sam's Clubs? And we'd go on Sundays and go eat all the
Fruit
samples?
He still does that.
Papa would put me in a buggy and we'd go while they was doing their shopping. Me and Papa would go around to the samples and we'd make a loop and we'd go back through and get some more. And if it wasn't one I wanted, he said, get that and give it to me, I'll eat it. So we'd go back through it, I'd have to get it and give it to him. We got our money's worth in samples. Had to go to Burger King. Y'all would take us to Burger
Yeah.
King. That's where I wanted to work.
I remember.
Ain't you glad I changed my mind on that?
And I wanted to work at Walmart.
Oh my,
Yes. I was in love with the little conveyor belt things that were on the cash register.
I told Papa I wanted to work at Burger King.
We didn't go to Burger
Really?
King much.
Riley worked at Burger
you-
King.
Did you tell them about when you used to haul gas on the weekend?
Mm. That's how I bought the boys vehicles, you know. They keep paying me cash money, and I'd get in that old cab over truck, and I'd run, sometimes I pulled 5 loads out of Hattiesburg, not Hattiesburg, out of
The muffins?
Demoltis. And PK paid me cash on it, and that's the way I'd have cash money, I'd go buy him a pretty nice car, you know. I had,
You hit a cow one night, didn't you?
yeah, I hit that cow, it totally back.
I can imagine so. I bet you it was a scary sight to see that in a cab over pickup.
Huh?
I bet it about scared you when you seen it in that cab over, didn't it?
Well, the dairy was over here on the right side of the road, and she was right in the middle. And I was betting on her going back towards the dairy place there, you know.
She
Maybe
sure
wrong.
didn't do it, did
Yeah. And so I pulled over, and when I pulled over to pass her, she run for the far side over there. And I mean, she hit right here in front of me, you know, that cowboy. And,
I bet that was a rough bump, wasn't it?
yeah, it was, 'cause we went across a cover. And then went on over there and went over across the cover.
You done missed it.
Somebody was in there with you, wasn't it?
James Ray was in there with you.
They played in there with me.
I bet you he got a tickle out
Well,
of it.
see, he went with me. I was having light problems. And they just bought that truck. It had a 318 in it. And I'd done pulled 2 loads with it. And I was having trouble with my trailer lights going out. And James Ray said, well, I'll go with you tonight. He says, I'll see can I find them when they go blinking going out. But see, he had his toolbox in that truck with us. And him and that toolbox went through the sleeper 2 or 3 times. They like needed the day.
I bet you he didn't want to ride with you no more, did he?
No, James Ray wasn't scared about driving. I wasn't scared
Did you
either.
turn over?
Huh?
And something was leaking out and y'all thought it was gas and gonna blow up?
Yeah, that man going in that house did. They tried to have a fit. James Ray's face was bleeding where that toolbox had hit it.
I bet y'all.
I remember Daddy's arm. It tore all the hide and meat off his arm. His whole forearm.
Yeah.
Remember that time you picked me up at Luke's? When I was working at Luke's and me and you was coming home and was coming across the bottom, we got to the river bridge, and you whooped out to pass a vehicle, and about that time it whooped out and it had me and you pinned up against the rail. You remember that?
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you something else. Man, one day we used to run around with Rayburn and Joy. And over where them pine trees is at, one of those pine trees over there, and it just froze over one. And we was out there skating on it. We was falling more than we was doing anything. But Shorty said that they come by there going to the sawmill, said he told them boys, says, look yonder, says, that's Mary Scott. And Wanda says, they out there ice skate, something like that. But,
I bet you if it would have froze like that, when that snow come through the ground, I bet you could have done some skating somewhere.
What about that night me and Brian was over at some girl's house and Cynthia called you? We're supposed to be home. She called and got you up.
But they was in trouble.
is that when you had to fight?
No, that was when me and Brian was down at Angie Whitworth's. Cynthia called and said, they ain't here.
But they was in trouble.
Daddy
Well,
got
I
up.
tell you what, I got mad about when you and Chris Wright got in a fight over there. He had a place ring on, tearing your face up. Do you know?
Yeah.
You about ready to go whoop somebody, wouldn't you?
Yeah, I went down to the hospital.
He did, he went down there to the police, they called the police.
Yeah.
He told us, I'm gonna have to put you in jail if you don't go on.
I wasn't but 15.
I told him just let
Right,
me drag him
right.
out. Look. I said he does pretty good, old boy. I want to see how he does the math.
I was 15. He was 19.
Yeah,
He could have went to jail, couldn't he?
yeah.
Yeah, Joey Barnes is the police. He come over there. And Joey Barnes.
No, I went Joey Barnes.
Joey Barnes and L.J. Hackman.
The same Joey Barnes that I'm thinking of?
Yeah.
Our kinfolk, Joey
I
Bowen.
didn't know he was a police
I
officer.
didn't either.
Larry
Turner.
Turner from Burns, the one that told, he was police down there when he went to the hospital to drag him out.
What was you gonna do, Mama?
Go get him out of jail, I guess.
Daddy didn't even know I was asleep in my bed. And there where Mama's front bedroom is. Daddy come there and got me up that morning and he seen my face. He's like, what in the world's happened to you?
Man, that classroom was just tearing Jackie's face
What did it
up.
look like it happened to?
Like he, I don't know what, he looked bad.
You say it looked like he'd been up
Uncle
under
Ronnie
a
got in
bush
trouble
hog.
too, didn't he?
Yeah, huh?
Didn't Uncle Ronnie get in trouble too? Cause he was there?
Yeah.
No, I called Ronnie.
Well, Ronnie said that him and Dana sitting there watching it, but said that he thought Jackie was getting the best end of it. And said that, but what's his name had that class ring on, that's what was tearing Jackie's face up.
I was right on Front Street.
Yeah.
What in the crap even started that?
He was into it with Brian, picking on Brian, and Brian wouldn't do nothing.
Brian Little Chicken.
And I started taking up for Brian, and then it got me and him into it.
No brain.
How much older is Brian than you?
Year. Brian's a year younger than me. Well, from
Was it
Jan-
15, you was 14.
From January to
He was 14.
August. From January to August.
7 months younger.
So
I was
he's
going.
probably 15.
I was going to town when I was 13.
I could hear him when he come home. When he come through Therapy Chapel, you could hear his music box going.
Brass monkey, wasn't it?
Kaboom, 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 kaboom.
Some kind of junkie music.
He still plays junkie music to this day.
Then Jack and Trady got a little car that was cheap on gas when it Jack.
Yeah.
Him and Tasha followed us lots of different places on going over
Tom's
Oklahoma.
was tough.
do what?
Tom's was tough. Had to get a cheaper gas mileage.
Yeah.
I had a wreck coming from Marathon one night. Right there where you
Yeah,
turned up to the
right.
football
That
field.
light pole, y'all had to buy the light pole. Like $300 or $400, wasn't it?
I don't remember.
Now, I don't want to ever
You
hear
had,
something
you,
going
had,
right off the road.
you had another Camaro at one point in time and Mama wrecked it, didn't you?
That's the one I bought brand new my senior year.
I don't remember.
It was a $261 a month car payment.
And she
Mama.
totaled it.
Oh, we done married then. I done paid it off.
I carried my mom home at 10 o'clock. I started going
What's the car that she wrecked with Riley when she was pregnant with him?
and
That
my mom
Camaro.
had to work every Saturday.
No, she was
So she
pregnant
was anyway.
with
I thought she said when I was with
The
her.
only wreck that we've been in there
Was
with
the
was
mailbox.
it was the mailbox in that white Chevrolet pickup.
Don't you listen to my mom. Tell them what you was making. I hired one.
She's told me. Nothing.
75 cents.
75 cents an hour. And I was working at garment plant, making $1.15 an hour.
What did you tell me about my
Yeah,
mom's
but you
wedding
can buy a
set?
sack full of groceries for $5.
So, well, I asked her to marry me out there on the front street. And I went around there and she picked out her rings.
She pick out some cheap ones.
No. I surprised them, didn't I? And 2 or 3 times I thought he was going to have to foreclose on me.
What did you think when she picked them out when he told you how much they was?
How much was it, Linda?
$250.
My goodness, that's a lot of money when you're making $1.15 an hour up in the garment plant.
Mama on high taste. She got expensive taste.
Yeah, she's got expensive taste. See me, don't you?
She
When
was
you got through football practice, didn't you have to hitchhike home?
Yeah.
What about Uncle Poyce, Uncle Hobart, and Uncle Hoyt? Which one of them was the meanest?
Of course,
He stayed in all kind of trouble with it.
yeah,
He's a lady man, wasn't
yeah. And,
He fought in a war, drove a tank.
yeah.
he? I bet did that not mess with him some?
There was a guy come down here from Michigan, and he talked about Uncle Poyce a whole lot. And he said that he was went into France on D-Day. And said that, they said back here in the United States that the airplanes got to bumping them over there. And he said that was a lie. He said that them old ships were sitting out there shooting their bombs in there, you know, and backed them up enough for them to get in there. And said that things kind of cooled off a little bit then, said that they got further on over in there and said things cooled off a little bit, and said that him and Uncle Poyce got a furlough. Went to a little old town over there. And said that everybody thought they was gonna get court-martialed. Is that what you say?
Drafted.
Yeah. But anyhow, said they come in about 3 or 4 days late from what they was
Pull
supposed
your
to.
hat back, you can't see your eyes.
Where you could, they could, tell them where they've been, you know. And they said, well, says, where have you been? Our boys told him, said, well, said, I ain't gonna tell you no lie. Said, we got over there and got some women, and said, we got some beer, and said, the more beer I drank, the better they got to looking.
They got in trouble with
They
No.
spend all their money.
Yeah, spent all the money. And says, here we are back. Says, I didn't tell you no lie, I told you the whole thing.
Is that the time he run out of money and they was gonna go, he said, I know where to get some, and went to the bank?
No, he went to Birmingham to get a load of lumber to, this cut and groove, you know what I'm talking about, Jack?
Yeah, tongue grew.
Yeah. And one of his buddies come by there and said, Horace, says, come on, go with me. Said, I got 2 good looking women and a case of beer back here. And he told that guy, says, you take that truck, go back and tell Daddy I'm gonna be in later getting home. And they went to Mexico. Went all the way down through Texas. And back then, all them was dirt roads down through that valley. And they left Mexico, come back up through there, and running out of gas. He says, well, says, that's all right. Says, pull in here to this service station. Says, I'm gonna go to this bank over here. And women thought he was fixing to rob the bank, you know. And it was James Hill Maddox who he was talking to when it
Oh, it
happened.
was his daddy, I think.
Yeah. Anyhow, they wired him some money. And so they filled the car up with gas. They took off up the road, and there's them 2 women going up to there. They done pulled them high heel shoes off, toting them walking barefooted. They just honked the horn and hollered at them out the window and kept going, left them out there in Texas. They wasn't that sorry.
Somebody come up my mom's house, gonna whoop Uncle Poise, wasn't they? She had to hide him in the closet or something once.
Yeah. He had a daughter pregnant.
That was Jackie Poise's, who it was, wasn't it? It's his mama.
Yeah. See, Mama worked with him in Birmingham. And Wayne worked over there pretty close to her in Birmingham. And she come over there, bring that little boy over there and says, ain't you Kendra married one of the Scots? She says, yeah. Says, I married Herman, he's the youngest. And she says, do you know anything about Poise? And Mama didn't already know how to take it. And she said, yeah. Says, I know him. And she said, well, this is his little boy here. And Mama sure didn't know what to talk to her about then. But see, he married her. And her daddy come after him with a shotgun, one, and they carried him to Aberdeen. And they got married in Aberdeen. And then they went up there, was it about Smithville, somewhere up in there where he's living at? Anyhow, he spent one night with her and left and hadn't seen her since.
But he got a divorce. I found where he got a divorce.
Did he get a divorce from him?
in Arkansas.
in Arkansas.
He's all around with Matt, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Uncle Porus was a tough one.
They asked him. So Forrest says, have you ever been married before? And he had to tell him, yeah. And he said, what did you say, woman?
I don't know, you ain't never told me that.
Yeah. He says, yeah, that would be the guy talking about him. That snow woman said that he really loved that snow woman. He said when he got out of the army, that's the first place he went, and she done got her another man. And his boy was there. That had to be Jacob Forrest there.
No. He had another boy with her.
Who he had another boy with her. And
He was from Dewey.
huh?
He was from
She was a snow, wasn't she?
Mhm.
And
He'd come to Uncle Forrest's mill down there and he'd
get money from.
Well, tell him about when you worked at the plant. You met Dwayne.
Hey, now what would you think about this, lady? I was working with Dwayne Oliver, and I told one day, I said, they want us to come over and play rook with them. She says, what's her name? I said, I don't know. I said, we have to sign them packages on them boxes, you know. And I said, I'll go back there and look and see what his name is. And so next night I come over and saw her. And she said, what's her name? I said, you ain't gonna believe it. I said, it's Dwayne Oliver.
Oh, liver. That's what it looked like, ain't it?
I said, Dwayne Oliver.
Well, you silly thing, that's Oliver.
Well, it could be Oliver or Oliver, either one.
What about Mama and Papa Crosby? They didn't like it when you was dating Mama, did they?
He had a rough name.
Yeah. Me and Roy and Ryan cut at school one day. We went to Hitchhack down there. I don't think I had it. No, I had. I said, no, I was going to be a one-on-one.
I don't know.
Because Daddy wanted to know what I was doing in the food hall down there at Vernal when I was supposed to be in school. And, let's see. I don't know, he got, somebody stole a bunch of typewriters out of the school manual. And they come in there questioning me and Roy about it.
Like you wanted a top.
He could teach.
You can only type your name if you don't steal some top.
I couldn't have a type, but boy, that reader Sue Patterson could make one get it quick. And we have to type something and turn it in. She kind of liked me, you know. She'd do mine and hers both. And I tell you something else. Me and Reader Sue standing on the stage one night. What was that, Wanda? And you and,
Halloween King Queen.
yeah, Halloween King and Queen. And Wanda was standing on the stage. And I never did see Wanda over there, know who she was. But one day me and Laura Mile rode by the school up there and they had a tennis court down there. And boy, I looked down there and there's the prettiest little girl you ever seen down there playing tennis. I asked Roy, I said, Roy, who is that little girl? He said, I don't know her name. He said, her dad is J.C. Crosby that works at Myers. And so Roy joined the National Guard. And I tried to get Daddy to let me join. And Daddy wouldn't let me. I was going to drop out of school and join it, you know, like Roy did. And Roy said, man, says, no, you better be glad your daddy didn't sign that. He says, these idiots up here are crazy. Says, I have to make this bed up for them to thump the quarter up and it bounce on it. He said, all these other boys got a furlough and I'm here steady making up beds. He said, every time I make it up, he comes in there and thumps the quarter up. And then they turn around and look at me and said, do it again.
When did you and Roy went to skip school when that tornado went through Ewing and
Hamilton.
was it Hamilton?
Yeah, went through Hamilton. And we went up there and it hit pretty hard down there. You know where that trade school's at?
Mm-hmm.
Hit pretty hard down there. Had a little snack bar where people go get hamburgers and things. And me and Roy had our football jackets on. And we stand down there on that edge of that thing and somebody's up there making pictures of it. And I had study hall the first period. I had to go get the paper and see what was in the paper. And there me and Roy was, standing on the, up there where the tornado went through. And you could see the Sergeant Blue Devils on the back of the coat, but you couldn't tell who it was.
Did y'all know? I know I didn't. Y'all might have. But there's a apple tree that was actually developed in Hamilton. They call it a Hamilton apple tree.
Yeah.
No joke. Mr. Williams was talking that day. He has one called a yellow Hamilton. It's an apple tree. And he said, can y'all guess how it's called a yellow Hamilton? We said, I guess because it's in Hamilton. He said, no. He said, Mr. Markham took some students up to Foley at a convention, and he asked them like where they was from and everything. They told him they were from Hamilton. He said, y'all need some Hamilton apple trees then. He was like, what's that? And it was actual trees that were actually developed at the Agricultural College in Hamilton. About 125 years ago.
Yeah. Well, I had an office at Elton. That's up there, you know where it's at, don't you, Jackie?
Yeah.
Up there across the Tennessee River. And I was supposed to go into Tennessee up there. And I didn't have no license for Tennessee. And the boy that was driving truck 1 that I ended up with, he turned it over up there. And I mean, I'm no further from state line here to that highway down there behind us. And but I knew I had to get the truck out of there quick before the state troopers got up there. They'd have me for selling gas and didn't have a license to be in Tennessee. So I had them hooked to the truck, and old boy come over there. Who that boy went to work for us up there, Jackie, in Tennessee?
Wasn't it green?
Huh?
Wasn't it green?
Kevin Aubrey.
I don't know, but anyhow, he told me, he said, I got a tanker over there at the house. I think we ended up buying that tanker off him. And, is that it? What's about you? And, but anyhow, I told him, I said, I asked that record driver, I said, do you know where Russell was at? He said, yeah. I said, when you get through Russell, you'll climb a mountain over there. You go out there a little piece, and you'll have to turn to the right. And then I said, when you get to Hamilton, you go through Hamilton, you go down there. There used to be a state trooper's office down there. I said, it's a state trooper's office down there, and I said, you turn to the right there, and you stay on 17, and you go through Sullivan, and you tell Roger to park that truck right there behind his shop.
He didn't get it there, did he?
Huh?
He didn't get it there, did he?
Yeah, he got it there. Put it right there where it's supposed to be. And, so, I had worked all them offices over there in Mississippi, you know. I knew all them routes and stuff over there. And, so, me and my mom decided we were going to just go in business for ourselves. And I went to Montgomery first, didn't I? And they just give the test for license that week before. And it's 3 months before they give it again. And so I went to Mississippi. They said, we'll give it to you now if you want it. And so we got legal in Mississippi then.
In July.
Huh?
In July.
In July. And we got I'd had to pay for my gas when I got it, you know. I made them out there and pay for it. And then we opened that office down there where Mom said she was in jail, but what's it? Quincy? Down there at Quincy. And so it was about, how long was it?
October.
October before we get in Alabama, wasn't it? And so I got in Alabama, we got getting a lot of business in Alabama, and I'd run Alabama in the mornings, and I'd run Mississippi in the evenings. Then that's when Jackie quit, and he started running Alabama, didn't he, Jackie? Then you know that little old place of Teresa Mims up there at
Old post office.
was the old post office, where you turn and go up the hill to Woodpeckers.
Mhm.
Well, we had that for our office
I remember that.
in Alabama.
Mama, weren't you the only person in there?
No, we had,
Okay.
Steve Wolf was one. Angie.
I can remember one day
Easy.
it was me and Daddy at home, and I was
Alicia
laying on
was
the.
down there for a little while, wasn't she?
who?
I wish I went in the new building.
Not in the old post
Well-
office, just Missy and,
Steve and Uncle Ronnie.
Yeah.
I can remember one day
Bunny wasn't in there.
Hmm?
In the old building.
I was a
Right.
little.
Bunny wasn't in the,
Yeah, he was.
Not long.
I was a little bitty kid, and it was
Yeah.
just me and Daddy
Ronnie,
at home.
Ronnie was in there because he had to go buy him a GPS. he said that man, Joel and Jackie was walking GPSs.
I remember something about that
They done
building.
run all them roads.
Cause I was little and I climbed up on Daddy and Mama's bed and I fell off. Remember that? I skinned my face up bad and we came and saw you in that building. So I
And that's
remember.
where you ate my mom Thelma's cigarettes in the floor. Took her
Who put them in the floor?
They was in her
Who
purse
eats stuff
and you
that's
went
on the
and got
floor?
them.
You!
I was a kid.
You went
You
down there.
shoved M&M's up your nose. I don't want to hear it.
You was by far the worst kid.
I don't care.
You stole them out of her purse.
Thief.
Don't put me on the
Thief.
floor and you wouldn't have had that issue.
Thief.
Mama, when you get about time for us to go, it'll be bedtime.
You ain't gotta go to bed for another hour and 20 minutes.
Oh, it's 16 minutes.
You ate you some supper yet?
Hmm?
You ate you some supper yet?
What's that?
He'll want breakfast.
Eggs with the rooster in it.
Mom, get that rooster out.
What you would have done if Mama would have just left the rooster in and didn't tell you?
He'd never eat eggs again.
Mom, could you eat eggs? You don't eat them no time.
Yeah, it is.
How'd you get the rooster out?
Eggs are just not my forte.
Remember that time me and Hagen, or it was mainly me, got flogged at the chicken coop?
We have that on video at Daddy's.
Oh, God, he was running, holding the head. That hen was jumping
Uncle Joey told you not to move the cup and I just moved a little bit further once you get that one after. Daddy got it on video.
Y'all seen Mama.
You deserve that.
We
You
used
got
to have a-
egged by a rooster.
They're
We
trying
used
to
to
help
have-
you out.
milk cow.
No. You threw rocks at it.
And, I can milk a cow dry in a minute. Using both hands, just big pouring. And, my mom, she's gonna learn how. She gets down there and she goes like this. And I take
I'm
that
gonna leave it
little
in there all
cow straight,
afternoon.
slap her around behind the head.
What'd you say when
She
he
said,
told
"What
you
did
that
I
he
do?"
did that?
I said, you pinched her. You remember that one?
Well, my story I didn't get
You
much
remember when Joel and Denise got married and they had that trailer out there by the barn? And Mama Crosby moved down here?
Yeah.
Smooth ride.
I'm going to bed. I gotta go carry this junky trailer back to the house.
You ready?